So this might be one of the weirdest times to ever make a Hu Tao video, but it's whatever I suppose. My Hu Tao friendship 10 and she has been on my team ever since her banner, so I kinda know her a bit. My crit rate is 67 to 164. You can crank this number up to a huge amount because Hu Tao scales insanely well with crit damage. And if you want to focus on charge attacks and stuff like that, about 67 to 69 is about a really good number to hit. But if you actually want to utilize Hu Tao's Q though, I recommend about 88% crit rate, which is pretty easy to do if you're able to use the white chassis. Now to bring into options about the weapons and also weapons you want to use for Hu Tao. I've been hearing a lot of things about the white chassis being completely useless on Hu Tao, and that is completely not true. If I switch over to white chassis right now, you can see there's an extra crit rate and stuff like that. It gives insane amount of crit rate and crit damage ratios and hit really good ratios like this one. So yeah, just because how Hu Tao's E works, the scaling of her HP, the amount of base attack for a weapon doesn't exactly affect Hu Tao as much, though it definitely affects her, but just not as much as our DPS. So white chassis is a pretty good option as a 3-star, and she's about parallel with all the other options here. This lands about one of the worst options for Hu Tao, even though I have an insanely high base attack. I used to use this one for about 2 weeks, I think, originally, but it didn't work on Hu Tao that much, and I highly recommend white chassis, even though the Flawless Lance can actually hit a higher Q damage. Though I do find white chassis does hit larger damages using a charge attack and normal attacks, which is the main source of damage. Dragon Spain can be really good as well with high refinement, so if you have high refinement Dragon Spain and like refinement 1 or white chassis, just use the Dragon Spain, especially if you're going with elemental reactions. Another weapon that I don't have those because I'm F2P is Deathmatch. I knew a guy with Deathmatch and it's pretty amazing. It's like an upgraded white chassis with a higher base attack and also a much higher crit rate, I believe. The crit rate is definitely higher, but not sure the base attack. It might be the same, but not sure about that. But yeah, Deathmatch is definitely an upgrade for Hu Tao. Into the 5-star weapons though, the Skyward Spine is like the worst 5-star there is. And moving up from the Skyward Spine, you get the J Spear. And finally, yeah, the most broken weapon in the entire game, I think, the Staff of Homer. Though I think there's other weapons now that's equally as broken. Into artifacts though, there's actually a lot of options here. The 2 main ones you've heard of right now is 2-piece Pyro and 2-piece Lava Walker. I don't have a Lava Walker over here, but yeah, 2-piece Lava Walker, if you're running full on Pyro and no reactions, this can be really good as well. If running reactions though, 4-piece Pyro, it can be really good as well. So another really good set that I should recommend on Hu Tao though is the Shimagawa set. The 2-piece set gives 18% attack, which is kind of useless on Hu Tao, but the 4-piece set though does give extra 50% for normal charge and plunging attacks, which is insanely good as well. Onto my own personal preferences on which set I personally use. I actually use a 2-piece mixture of Witcher Flames and also 2-piece Wanderers. I run Sincho with my Hu Tao and actually works pretty darn nice. I don't know about you, but farming the Witcher Flame set, the 4-piece of it, is kinda cursed for me. So I kinda just keep towards the 2-piece set of the Witcher Flames and also the Wanderers. For the hat though, obviously you want the crit rate, also crit damage hat. And for the cup, you want power damage. For the maiden set, actually has some pretty good elemental cups, so if you're running out any of those, I found this domain pretty good. And yeah, this one's not too horrible, and farming in that domain usually gives some pretty good elemental stuff. Onto the timepiece though, you either run with attack or HP. Something to know about Hu Tao though, if you don't want to run over 26,000 if you're running a 5-star weapon, and you don't want to run over 30,000 if you're using a 4-star weapon, and you don't want to go over 34,000 HP if you're using a 3-star weapon. That's where a lot of people get caught off guard. So if you have too much HP though, just run attack percent, that will scale things a bit better. But if you don't have enough HP though, you definitely want to use the HP percent one. But I usually try to get all my HPs all from the substats alone. As a level 90 Hu Tao, she gets 15,000 base HP, so meeting your target is usually not too difficult. I've seen some people use an insane amount of HP for her. My personal experience, that too much HP just kills the Hu Tao way too much. And yeah, running attack up percent usually scales a bit better once she's final scented, and especially using a 5-star weapon as well. So yeah, keep that in mind. For the feathers and also flowers, the general substats you want to look out for is crit damage and crit rate. Elemental Mastery could be somewhat nice, and also HP as well can be pretty damn good as well. Hu Tao is really recyclable and she can use a bunch of stuff. HP attack percent is also pretty nice for her, but not too much of it. Some crit rates and crit damage, and that's about it really. The two main talents you want to look out for is a normal attack and also a E. The E converts a set amount of HP directly into attack. So if you look at my Hu Tao right now, about 1200. Actually, let me switch weapons. Usually the one I used to. 5-star. So that makes the HP amount having actually a bit of sense. So I have 1500 HP right now. Hitting the E, and I'll pop me upwards of 3200 something with no power resonance though. Because you like Hu Tao having a low HP, she doesn't really work well with Bennett, and sometimes Diana can be a bit of a pain as well because her Q actually does some healing. So yeah, Xingqiu is one of the best supports for her. Overall though, Hu Tao is a really recyclable character. You can use a 3-star weapon if you like. As mentioned before though, I see a lot of people shitting on the White Castle, and yes, from the worst 5-star to a White Castle, there is quite a bit of difference. The Skyward Spine definitely hits a bit harder, but I don't know, the White Castle allows to give some crit rates and you can just spam the crit damage out there. So if you're able to get a lot really lucky with like crit damage and stuff like that, the White Castle is also a really good choice as well, just for the extra crit rates. And yeah, I have one. My Hu Tao has extremely low crit damage. So hopefully you have better luck than me, and that's all you need to know about Hu Tao really. One of the reasons I think I want to make this guide right now at this really awkward time, I don't know why really, but I feel like there's a Hu Tao banner coming up soon, and no leaks or anything like that, just a feeling I suppose. And I feel like there's a lot of early guides for Hu Tao that's really misleading, some misinformation and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been using it for a very long time now, and yeah, here's some general stuff I just want to share and everything like that. Some artifacts I like to use, just because 4-piece sets sometimes are insanely hard to find. Thank you for watching everybody, and hope everybody has a good one. And bye. What was that? That was weird. Yes indeed.